Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending where you are across the world, as we bring you coverage of the Premier League encounter between Aston Villa and Manchester United this afternoon. Kickoff is very much fast approaching, 8 minutes away from kickoff in that game today at Villa Park. We're also bringing you updates as Chelsea take on Nottingham Forest. So I'll be doing this. Let me bring you the team news for there. Chelsea have remained unchanged from their 4-2 victory over Brighton last week. So the four-star man Cole Palmer retains his place in a 4-2-3-1 formation for Chelsea. As for Nottingham Forest, two changes for them as they see Callum Hudson-Odoi and Morgan Gibbs-White coming to the side after they lost 1-0 to Fulham in the Premier League last week. Nicholas Dominguez and Taiwo Awoniyi both drop down to the subs bench. The referee for the game at Stamford Bridge this afternoon is Chris Kavanagh. He's assisted by Lee Betts and James Mannering. Tony Harrington is the fourth official. VAR is Jared Gillett, and Wade Smith is on the assistant VAR duty role this afternoon. 2 o'clock kickoff is the kickoff time for the game at Stamford Bridge this afternoon between Chelsea and Nottingham Forest. Also kicking off at 2 o'clock in the Premier League this afternoon is the game which is probably the biggest game for Manchester United and Eric Ten Hag. Is the game at Villa Park between Aston Villa and Manchester United. Kickoff is around about 5 minutes away on that one. So before we get all the action ready to get underway, let me bring in your match commentator Paul James, who can go through the all-important team changes for both sides this afternoon. Paul, over to you.
Thank you, Russ. Yes, 3 changes for Aston Villa from their 2-2 draw against Ipswich Town. Matty Cash comes back for Diego Carlos. Ross Barkley steps in for Amadou Onana. And Jaden Philogene steps in for Jacob Ramsey, who misses out altogether. For Manchester United, following their disastrous 3-0 home defeat to Tottenham Hotspur, under fire manager Eric Ten Hag has really ran the changes for that. Matthias de Ligt has stepped aside for Johnny Evans. Lissandro Martinez drops to the bench for Harry Maguire, whose goal in midweek rescued Manchester United's blushes in the last minute against Porto. Manuel Ugarte drops to the bench for Christian Eriksen, and Joshua Zirkzee steps aside for Rasmus Højlund. Those are your team news for Manchester United versus Aston Villa at Villa Park.
Thank you very much then, Paul James. We're back with Paul very shortly in time for kick-off for that one, as that's your main feast of Premier League action this afternoon. Also later in the Premier League, not being covered today, is Brighton of Albion against Tottenham Hotspur, which kicks off at 4:30 or 16:30 UK time, as you can see going across the bottom of your screen. Russ Vernon, the man who's on the mic right now, will be giving you updates on Chelsea against Nottingham Forest, which kicks off at 2 p.m. in the Premier League this afternoon, as well as Aston Villa against Manchester United. Let me run you through the scores from the weekend so far then, just before we kick off. Crystal Palace 0, Liverpool 1, Arsenal 3, Southampton 1, Brentford 5, Wolves 3. Cracking game there at the G-Tech Community Stadium. Leicester City 1, Bournemouth 0, Man City 3, Fulham 2, West Ham United 4, Ipswich Town 1, and in the evening kick-off, Everton 0, Newcastle United 0. Video Radio Jingles and Gaming says, hello Russell and Paul, another hard game for Manchester United. It was a very disastrous for the team. I think Man United could have sacked Ten Hag if they played with 11 men. Absolutely, they lost in midweek to Porto, drew with Porto in midweek, and we're very lucky to get that draw in midweek with Manchester United in the Europa League. We're almost ready for kick-off then, and with kick-off fast approaching, and then over to match commentator at Villa Park for this afternoon's clash is Paul James, and I'll be back with you during the afternoon with updates on Chelsea against Nottingham Forest. But Paul, it's all yours.
Thank you very much, Russ, and welcome everybody to another weekend of Premier League football, this time from Villa Park as Aston Villa take on Manchester United. Manchester United dropping down to 14th position in the league this past weekend after Saturday's games. Take on Aston Villa were, of course, on a mighty high after their 1-1 victory over Bayern Munich at home in the Champions League in the week. Must have brought back some memories to older members of Villa's supporting contingent. So let's take a look at what Unai Emery has decided to do for his starting lineup today, and he's going with a 4-2-3-1 formation for Aston Villa, who are in sixth place following Saturday's games, and they line up with Emiliano Martinez in goal. The back four is Luca Dean, Ezri Konsa, Pau Torres, and Matty Cash, with Yuri Tielemans and Ross Barkley in the holding midfield role. Jaden Philligan steps in at number 19. Morgan Rogers, Leon Bailey, and holding the line is Ollie Watkins. For Manchester United, well, time running out for Eric Ten Hag. He chooses this lineup. It's Andre Onana in goal. The back four are Diogo Dalot, Johnny Evans, Harry Maguire in from his goal in the week, Nuse Mesraoui. The holding midfielders are Christian Eriksen, Kobe Mainu. The three behind the centre forward is Marcus Rashford on the left, the captain Bruno Fernandes in the middle wearing number 8, and Alejandro Garnacho on the right, with Rasmus Højlund making his first Premier League start of the season holding the line. For the substitutes bench, well, Aston Villa have gone for a very defensive heavy substitutes bench. The goalkeeper is Joe Gauci, Costa Nedlovic, Diogo Carlos, Ian Matson, Lemaire Bagade, and Sil Swinkles, who could play his first game, the Dutchman, today if he comes on. There's only one recognised midfielder on this Villa bench. It's Emiliano Martinez, with two forwards, John Duran and Caden Young. For Manchester United, they've gone with a more balanced substitutes bench. Altay Bayinda is the goalkeeper, Victor Lindelof, Mateus de Ligt and Lisandro Martinez, with Casemiro and Manuel Ugarte, the two midfielders. Joshua Zirkzee, Amad Diallo and Anthony are the substitutes for Manchester United. Our referee today is Robert Jones. He's age 37 and he's from Merseyside. We have on as assistants Neil Davis, Akil Howson. Simon Hooper is the fourth official. VAR is John Brooks and Gary Beswick. And the two teams have met each other 198 times in the past, with Aston Villa winning 51. There's been 41 draws and 106 victories for Manchester United. Well, Aston Villa, of course, on a massive high, cannot afford to overlook a desperate Manchester United. A wounded beast in the corner is a very dangerous beast, and they will be looking to try to get something from this game today. So players are gathered around in the middle right now. We're just waiting for the referee just to get everything organised and underway. Manchester United will be in their changed jerseys, I suspect, today, but I'll let you know. It's a full house here at Villa Park. We're still waiting for the kickoff, so why don't we get some full lineups from Russ at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea versus Nottingham Forest. Oh, guess we can't.
Sorry about that. Well, I mean now. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Just a few technical issues here. The Stamford Bridge, it looks like Nottingham Forest will be able to get this game off and underway. Then let me just run you through the two sides. Then for Chelsea, it's Robert Sanchez in goal, Malo Gusto, Wesley Fofana, Levi Colwill and Marco Correa across the back. Moses Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez, the captain, the two older men in the midfield. Manny Madueke and Jadon Sancho either side of the man in the number 10, Cole Palmer. Nicholas Jackson leads the line. As for Nottingham Forest, it's Matt Sells in goal, Ola Aina, Nikola Milenkovic, Murillo, Alex Moreno across the back. Ryan Yates and James Ward-Prowse in front of the back four. It's Elliot Anderson, Morgan Gibbs-White and Callum Hudson-Odoi on the left-hand side, with Chris Wood in attack. On the bench for Chelsea, Jorgensen, Desarce, Tosin, Mudryk, Vega, Lavia, Neto, Felix and Kunku. For Forest is Miguel, Murata, Williams, Bolle, Dominguez, Awonyi, Silva, Elanga and Sosa were already underway. First 8 seconds gone here. It's Chelsea Nottingham Forest nil. As we look, as I just see Enzo Maresca on the screen here as well. It's still Chelsea nil, Nottingham Forest nil, with an early free kick for Chelsea.
All right, thank you, Russ. We're underway here. Manchester United in their changed jerseys of white shirts, black shorts and white socks. Villa in their home jerseys, attacking the goal to our left in their claret and blue shirts, white shorts and claret and blue socks. On the ball right now there is Yuri Tielemans. It's just given away now to the number 6, Ross Barkley, but cleared away there, or attempted to be cleared away by Diogo Dalla. It bounced off Marcus Rashford, and it's going to be a throw-in for Aston Villa down the right-hand side, midway inside the Manchester United half of the field. It's to be taken by Matty Cash. And he throws the ball back to Ezri Konsa. Konsa just makes his way into the centre circle. He's just going to play the ball to Pau Torres there. Torres now just holds the ball up. Drops the ball back into the centre circle to Konsa. Konsa plays the ball there to Cash. Cash drops the ball back again to Konsa as Manchester United trying to press Villa back here. Pau Torres just drops the ball back to Emiliano Martinez, the goalkeeper. And, well, Aston Villa looking to continue their performances recently. Their last defeat coming at home to Arsenal. They're on 3 wins and 1 draw since then. Manchester United only, of course, having the 1 win in the last 5 games. And Martinez is just going to clear that downfield. He goes long looking for Luca Dean. Finds him. Luca Dean under pressure there from Garnacho. Drops it back there to Pau Torres. Torres picks up the ball inside his own half. He launches it forward looking for Luca Dean. It's won back by Garnacho. And the ball finds Eriksson. But Eriksson only finds Pau Torres. And Aston Villa can now regain possession. And they've been patient early on here. Here is Leon Bailey. He's brought down there is Bailey. And it's going to be a free kick to Aston Villa. That's actually Morgan Rogers. Looks like he was just caught by Christian Eriksen there. There was no real attempt to win the ball. No further action from Rob Jones. And it's going to be... Oh, there was a yellow card has in fact been given to Christian Eriksen. So a yellow card to Christian Eriksen early on in this game. That is not what Manchester United would have wanted. And certainly not what Eriksen would have wanted so early on in this game today. But it's a free kick to Aston Villa. It is midway inside the Manchester United half. And it's going to be taken. I'm just trying to see who it is who's taking it there. Yes, it's Luca Dean who is going to swing this one in. Just got his hand in the air. It's a high line again by Manchester United, right inside the D. The free kick itself is about 40 yards out. It's swung in and just headed away that time by Johnny Evans, but only as far as the number 19 there, Jaden Philogene. Philogene drops the ball back to Tielemans, and Tielemans sends it back to the goalkeeper Emiliano Martinez from all the way inside the Manchester United half of the field. But here is Emiliano Martinez. He just releases it to Pau Torres. We're going to get frequent updates from Stamford Bridge for Chelsea versus Nottingham Forest. And Russ Vernon will be bringing those. We'll go over to him for some see what the early action's been in a few moments' time. But here's Marcus Rashford now. Manchester United storming into the penalty area. Marcus Rashford cuts inside. Can he get the shot away? He can. Oh, it's a super save from Emiliano Martinez. And Manchester United setting their intentions out early on. Well, Rashford cuts inside here, inside the penalty area, and gets the shot away, forcing a super save from Emiliano Martinez. And as I said there at the top of the broadcast, a wounded beast is a most dangerous beast, and Manchester United at the moment are a wounded beast, and we'll see today whether they can turn the tables and maybe give Eric Ten Hag some breathing space. Here's Andre Onana now. The goalkeeper just holding the ball up. Nobody pressing him, so he just takes it outside of his penalty area, dilly-dallying. Finally releases the ball there to Mazraoui. Mazraoui gives the ball to Garnacho. Garnacho lifts the ball over to Harry Maguire, making his first start in the Premier League this season. Harry Maguire. His goal in the last minutes against Porto as he came off the bench certainly saved Manchester United's blushes. It's a long ball there, forward looking for Philogene, but it's out of play and it's going to be a throw-in. So with 5 minutes gone, let's get some early update from Russ Vernon at Stamford Bridge.
Yes, Paul is still Chelsea 0, Nottingham Forest 0. Chelsea knocking the ball around well. Forest have played well as well. They've got the ball towards Chris Woodall. Almost caused a mistake from Melo Augusto, but recovered well. Chelsea put some decent balls in, but too much on the balls into the penalty area. 6 minutes gone here. It is Chelsea 0, Nottingham Forest 0.
Thank you, Ross. And the ball is picked up here by Hoyland, but he's dispossessed. And now then, Morgan Rogers just tries to bring the ball under control, but he loses the ball. Perhaps the pass just had a little bit too much on it that time from Tielemans, but Manchester United, Aston Villa lose the ball, and Hoyland only manages to play the ball forward to no one in particular. And it just goes all the way through to Martinez, and finally Aston Villa can now come forward. It's Luca Dean, drops the ball back to Pau Torres. Torres just moves into the middle of the park and releases it there to Konsa. Konsa gives the ball to Cash. Cash back to Konsa. Esme Konsa now just holding the ball up. He's got options left and right. He gives the ball to Pau Torres. Torres plays the ball down the left-hand side to Luca Dean. Dispossessed there as he finds Philogene was dispossessed there. And Manchester United win the ball back easy. And Kobe Mainoo drops the ball back to Johnny Evans, who gives the ball back to Onana. It's released downfield by Onana, headed on there by Mezraoui. But the breakdown there, the Manchester United move there, and Aston Villa can now come forward, and it's a ball played forward there to Ollie Watkins. Watkins releases it to Morgan Rogers with a shot! Oh, and it just goes wide, and just for a second, it looked like that might have rippled the back of the net, but it in fact goes wide. And that's a really good move as Manchester United's defence falls asleep again there. Nobody closing down Morgan Rogers quickly enough at all here. Johnny Evans, too much space there really for Morgan Rogers, and it was drilled wide of the goal. And well, Manchester United just now coming forward, now seeing if they can create something. That's a super ball over the top by Kobe Mainoo to Marcus Rashford, but he's just not able to get there. And it's going to be a throw-in for Aston Villa. So both sides firing shots across each other's bow in this first 10 minutes or so. And Manchester United and Aston Villa, they're just setting out their intentions. So far, 0-0 though, but it's been a very interesting start to this game. As Eric Ten Hag just passing on some instructions, as Leon Bailey just brings the ball under control and lays it off to Matty Cash. Matty Cash to Konsa, plays the ball forward over the top. It's chested down there by Ollie Watkins. Well, he was looking for the number 27 Morgan Rogers there, but he seems to have been, the referee has stopped play just for a moment. I'm not sure exactly what that was for, but it looks like it's going to be a free kick. Perhaps a foul on Morgan Rogers. There didn't really look to be a lot in that. We've got one player down right now, one Villa player down right now, and it looks like it is Esme Konsa. Tielemans and Martinez going up and speaking to Konsa, but Konsa is still down. As we take a look at one of the Villa players just not playing today, Tyrone Mings. Konsa is still down. Let's just go and hear about a chance at Stamford Bridge. Who's it come for, Russ?
Yes, it's come to Chelsea, Paul. There's a fantastic bit of play down the right-hand side from Noni Madueke. He was well to beat Alex Moreno on that left-hand side, on Chelsea's right, Forest's left, cuts into the penalty and just dragged his shot wide. I think Southside had it covered all the way as well. With 10 minutes gone here, Paul, it's still Chelsea 0, Nottingham Forest 0. Chelsea trying to turn the screw a bit though, but Forest 11 choice of possession as well though, still 0-0.
Thank you, Ross. So it looks like Konsa may be having to come off here. Readying himself to come on here is Diego Carlos. So Consa, a disappointing end to his game today. Looks like he is going to be making way for Diego Carlos, but the physios are still working on Consa, who is down right now. We'll just see whether this substitution is taking place. Diego Carlos clearly thinks it is. He's stripped off and on the sidelines now, waiting to come on. Yes, it looks like a very unpleasant injury. Didn't look like a foul so much as it did look like he pulled something like a hamstring. Is now coming off, and Diego Carlos is coming on as a very disappointing day for Consa. And I stand to be corrected, and I'm sure Russ will correct me if I am wrong, but I think he is in the England squad for the forthcoming games against the forthcoming England internationals against Greece. So I actually think that this may be he may have to pull out of the England squad, but the free kick is going to be taken anyway, and it's launched long and headed out by Maguire and just headed out of play, and it's going to be a throw-in for Manchester United with Diogo Dalla is the man to take it. And we take a look at the Aston Villa manager. Russ has just confirmed for me that Consa is in the England squad. Well, chances are he may have to pull out now, and the ball is played forward to looking really for Højlund, but it's cleared up by Pau Torres, gives it to Emiliano Martinez. So there's been a chance at the City Ground, Russ. Not at the City Ground, rather, at Stamford Bridge. And Russ, who's it come to?
Yes, it's come to Nottingham Forest. A fantastic bit of play from the visitors, and the ball into the penalty area, and a header from the captain, Ryan Yates, just caught by Robert Sanchez. But I think the offside flag was up anyway, so it probably won't have counted had it gone in. Chelsea, as you come to me, Paul, we're looking for a penalty as Nicholas Jackson went in inside the penalty area. Not much contact in that incident, and for me, the referee got and officials got spot on. No penalty, still 0-0, 13 minutes gone.
Thank you, Russ. So, yeah, Ezri Konsa will probably, if it is a hamstring injury, will certainly have to pull out of the England squad. Not good news for Lee Carsley, as the ball is cleared downfield and just headed back to the goalkeeper by Matty Cash. And Matty Cash now also seems to be, he's just tying up his shoelaces. He's asked for just the game to be stopped while he laces up his boots again. And Rob Jones not happy with this, but he gets the game back underway, and here's Diego Carlos. Good ball to Luca Dean. Luca Dean plays the ball forward looking for Philogene, but Philogene is just tackled and dispossessed that time by Mainu. And there's the ball played forward by Fernandez, looking for Garnacho down the right-hand side. This is the first time Garnacho has been brought into this game, and a super challenge there by Yuri Tielemans. He claims that the ball has gone out off the Manchester United player Alejandro Garnacho. The assistant on this near side, Akelhausen, says no, and it's going to be a throw-in and to Manchester United as Kobe Mainu just tries to get round the number 12 Luca Dean. It breaks away, and finally just knocking the ball out of play there is Mazraoui, and it's going to be a throw-in to Manchester United, to Aston Villa, and it's going to be taken once again by Luca Dean. Midway inside his own half of the field, and it's thrown long and just picked up here by the number 6 for Aston Villa there, and that is Ross Barkley, of course. And Manchester United have a free kick though. It's been a foul. Christian Eriksen is going to be standing over this free kick. It's just inside the Manchester United half of the field, and it's going to be taken here by Christian Eriksen. It's going to go long. It's a high line by Aston Villa, just outside of their own 18-yard box, and it's played short by Eriksen, there to Mazraoui. Ball played back to Mazraoui there from Dalla. And back to Eriksson. Eriksson launched it long into the box. Oh, it's hooked away that time by Matty Cash, but only as far as the corner of the penalty area there to Harry Maguire. I'm not sure what he's doing all the way over there, but Harry Maguire picks up the ball. And again, Maguire just trying to turn away from Morgan Rogers. Goes down under Morgan Rogers' challenge, but no free kick, says the referee. And the throw-in is taken quickly, and Manchester United win the ball back comfortably. That was a poor throw-in, as Andre Onana just releases the ball to Mainu. Mainu midway inside his own half of the field now. Mainu drops the ball back there to Maguire, who is now back in his centre-back position. And he plays the ball forward there to Christian Eriksen. Eriksen to Diogo Dalla. Dalla plays the ball forward, and just turning there quite brilliantly was Højlund. And the ball is now forward, and just coming across to make the challenge there is Diego Carlos. And you can see here it was a really nice turn, and it was actually Højlund who picked up the ball there from that nice turn from the pass from just not quite sure who that was over there. I think it was Eriksen who made that pass, and but it's good defending there by Diego Carlos. And here's Morgan Rogers. Rogers holds the ball up and plays the ball forward there. Picking up the ball there is Philogene, but it's played for, but it's given away in fact, and he's not able to control the ball. Philogene, it goes back into Manchester United's half of the field, picked up by Harry Maguire. Maguire midway inside his own half of the field, drops the ball back there to Mazraoui. There's a quick 1-2 with Eriksen. Plays the ball there to Rashford. Back again to Rashford. Drops it back to Eriksen. Eriksen goes all the way back to the goalkeeper, Andre Onana. He releases the ball to Dalla. And Dallo gives the ball there to Maguire. Maguire to Diogo Dalla. Dalla just holds the ball up, and here is Christian Eriksen again. Eriksen midway inside his own half of the field. He drops the ball into the middle there to Diogo Dalla. Over on the far side is Johnny Evans, and it's given to Rashford. The ball is played forward, and Højlund chasing this one, but Emiliano Martinez, quick to react to that, comes way out of his box to clear the ball away, and it's headed back by Matty Cash to Diego Carlos, who stepped into that centre-back position for the injured Esri Konsa. And Villa have the ball now with Ross Barkley. Barkley gives the ball back to Diego Carlos. Carlos just drops the ball to Pau Torres. Again, pace of the game has really slowed down. Pau Torres drops the ball back to Emiliano Martinez. Both sides now just looking to feel each other out, but not much going on at the moment. We'll just check in now with Russ for an update from Stamford Bridge.
Yes, Paul, it's 90 minutes gone here. Chelsea 0, Nottingham Forest 0. Forest a few moments ago trying to play out from the back, man, working it in and put a ball in towards the penalty, but was cleared well by Nottingham Forest. First 10 minutes spent the possession a few moments ago as well. Enjoyed a bit of that, but lost out on the edge of the Chelsea box, and then Chelsea broke quickly. And Jadon Sancho was on one for Manchester United here at Stamford Bridge. It started off well. I think Man United missed a trick and let him go out on loan. Almost 19 minutes gone here, still 0-0.
Thank you very much, Ross. We have almost 20 minutes gone here at Villa Park. It's still Aston Villa 0, Manchester United 0, still 0-0 there at Stamford Bridge. So no goals for you to bring so far. Hopefully that'll change soon. Here's Philogene for Villa. Oh, he strikes a shot that Philogene, well, he cut in from the left-hand side and struck the shot. Andre Onana may well have watched it go wide, but it was moving away from him and really wasn't that far away. But Villa fire another shot at Manchester United's goal. And I'm not sure, that Andre Onana was getting there if that was on target. But it goes wide, and it's a goal kick for Manchester United. And it's going to be taken by the goalkeeper, Andre Onana. Launches the ball right-footed downfield. Up in the air to win that comfortably is Matty Cash, who tried to just head the ball down to Leon Bailey, but too much power on that header, and it goes out of play for a throw-in to Manchester United. 6 yards inside their own half of the field, and it's going to be taken there by Diogo Dalla. Just does a quick throw-in and just drop back to him by Bruno Fernandes. And here's Alejandro Garnacho now for Manchester United. But watching him well was Luca Dean, who gets the foot in and puts that ball out of play. Throw into United. Here's Mazraoui. Drops the ball back to Harry Maguire. Maguire holds the ball up and gives it to Diogo Dalla. And Dalla drops it back to the goalkeeper, Andre Onana. As we've seen flashes of creativity from both sides in this first half. But so far, I think both sides are really afraid to take the commitment and take a hold of this game. As Rashford is fouled Bruno Fernandes is fouled that time. And it's going to be a free kick to Manchester United by the foul by Ross Barkley. Bruno Fernandes complaining about it. It looks like he had his shirt pulled there. It's a free kick. And Manchester United will get this free kick, which is just over the halfway line. And the free kick is going to be taken here by, it looks like it's by Diogo Dalla on that far side. It might be Christian Eriksen, actually. I think it is. It's Christian Eriksen to take this free kick. And it's just a few yards in from the touchline. Christian Eriksen swings it towards the corner of the penalty area. Headed down by Harry Maguire and cleared away by Luca Dean and out of play. So we've had 22 minutes gone here. It's Aston Villa 0, Manchester United 0. And Morgan Rogers there. It just seems to me from this first 22 minutes that both sides really unwilling to take a grip on this game and take control of it. And it's been fairly even Steven so far, with a draw certainly being the right scoreline so far. Mazraoui gets the ball back from the throw-in and drops it back to Harry Maguire. Maguire holds the ball up. He drops it back to the goalkeeper, Andre Onana. We've got 62% possession for Manchester United in the last 15 minutes of this game. It's back with Onana now, who's midway inside his own half. He chooses to go long, but that is to nobody. And it will just go through to his opposite number, Emiliano Martinez. And Manchester United just give up possession altogether far too easily there. Martinez. Now it's outside, midway inside his own half of the field. He's gone forward as well, as it's picked up there by Pau Torres. Torres just on the halfway line. Drops the ball back into the centre circle to the number 3, Diogo Carlos. Oh, that's a good ball there. And it's dropped back there by Matty Cash. Decides not to go forward, and it goes all the way back to the goalkeeper, Emiliano Martinez. Martinez, midway inside his own half of the field, is going to launch this ball downfield now. He's just holding the ball up, and he's just going to take the ball back into his own penalty area. He's dilly-dallying at the moment, toying with the Manchester United players. Pau Torres now plays the ball forward over the halfway line. Philogene tries to head the ball on to Ollie Watkins, but that's a good challenge by Johnny Evans. Let's hear about a chance at Stamford Bridge. Ross Vernon.
Yes, thank you, Paul. Chelsea's another good chance. He's not about a Weke again. He cuts in from that right hand side again and just curls his shot just over the bar. A few moments before that, though, Paul, let's go first at the free kick, about 25 yards out. But that one was a poor free kick. It was a cross by James Ward-Prowse, which bounced before going behind for a goal kick. 25 minutes gone here. Even stuff at the moment. Chelsea be more chances, but first seems to be going into the game. Still 0-0 at Stamford Bridge.
All right, thank you, Ross. And it's picked up midway inside his own half here by Johnny Evans, who drops the ball back to Andre Onana. Onana releases the ball there to Diogo Dalla. And Diogo Dalla he almost gives the ball away, Diogo Dalla. It bounces off the head of Ollie Watkins, but that was far too casual play by Diogo Dalla, and that could have that really could have been a disaster for Manchester United had Ollie Watkins been able to control that ball better. Here is Harry Maguire now. And Maguire plays the ball forward to Mazraoui, to Garnacho. Oh, that's a super ball there while he was looking for Mazraoui. Back again. Ball just a little bit away from Mazraoui, and it goes out for a throw-in. And Aston Villa is now going to take the throw-in with Luca Dean. Luca Dean just he's got the ball just inside his own half of the field. And finally throws it looking for Yuri Tielemans, but it's intercepted by Bruno Fernandes. And the number 10, Rashford, just plays the ball to Eriksen. And there's Kobe Mainoo down the right-hand side to Bruno Fernandes, the captain. He's dispossessed by Luca Dean. And it's now back with Tielemans again. The ball is played forward to the number 27, Morgan Rogers. Oh, he's doing very well holding Eriksen off. But finally, a crunching challenge coming in from Harry Maguire, who clears that ball downfield. As we just take a look at this one again. Looks like he's just coming forward there really, really well. And actually, that's Johnny Evans making that challenge on Morgan Rogers. And just this past week, former Burnley manager Vincent Kompany came out and said that while he was at Burnley, he tried to sign Morgan Rogers. And Morgan Rogers obviously chose to remain at Villa. Johnny Evans is now up on his feet but looks in some discomfort, and Lisandro Martinez is warming up on the bench, as well as Rasmus Højlund receiving some instructions from Ruud van Nistelrooy. Certainly a lot of wisdom the former Manchester United striker could pass on. What a goal-scoring ratio that Ruud van Nistelrooy had in his career. Always a goal-scoring threat. Here's Pau Torres, and just releases the ball to Diego Carlos. Here's Matty Cash. Bailey holds the ball up on the far side. Under pressure is Leon Bailey, but he just drops the ball back to Cash again. Cash, the Polish international, plays the ball across there to the number 14, Pau Torres. To Tielemans. He plays it into the centre circle. It's lifted up into the air, but Tielemans brings it down again. Yuri Tielemans now picks up the ball. Oh, is he taking the ball out of play? Manchester United think he has, but the assistant on this near side doesn't believe he has. As here is Ross Barkley now. Ball across there to Leon Bailey down the left-hand side. Leon Bailey cuts inside. The ball is played there to Barkley, and Barkley clashes with Johnny Evans, and it's going to be a free kick. And Manchester United players complaining at the referee. That was quite by accident. As we'll just take a look at this again. It's definitely a free kick, of course. But Leon Bailey, I think, catches Johnny Evans quite by accident here. Not Leon Bailey, rather Ross Barkley. And you can kind of see it across here that, yes, it was a first touch by Ross Barkley that just eluded him. And it's cleared downfield there from that free kick for Manchester United. And just trying to deal with this is Diego Carlos. And Diego Carlos gives the ball away to Eriksen. And it's back into Eriksen to Diogo Dalla. Dalla plays it back into his own half to Evans. And the ball is played forward there from Evans looking for Garnacho. But it just found the Villa player, Pau Torres. It's played forward there to Jadon Philogene, who's dispossessed that time by Bruno Fernandes. It's back with Mazraoui. Mazraoui gives the ball to Mainoo. Mainoo to Eriksen. Over on the left-hand side now is Marcus Rashford. Rashford tries to play Diogo Dalla in, who was overlapping, but that's comfortably won back by Johnny Cash, who gives the ball to Diego Carlos, and he launches it back into the Manchester United half of the field. We've had half an hour gone here. It's Aston Villa 0, Manchester United 0. Let's get an update from Ross at Stamford Bridge.
Thank you, Paul. It's still Chelsea and Nottingham Forest 0. Chelsea had a couple of good chances while he was away. Malo Gusto from the edge of the penalty area just killed one just over the bar. And then just another good chance, which has gone out for a throw in this time, though, which Forest have just taken now. It's still Chelsea 0, Forest 0. Forest seem to be, as I've said numerous of times, Paul, on the updates, Forest seem to be going into the game still goalless.
All right, well, here's Mazraoui, and he gives the ball there to the number 5, Harry Maguire. And it's laid back to Johnny Evans, who goes long looking for Garnacho, and the ball bounces off Luca Dean, and Garnacho wins the ball back in the area, but he's not able to. Surrounded by 4 Aston Villa players, absolutely mobbed there was Garnacho when he'd won the ball back in the penalty area there. That was sound defending by Aston Villa. And here is Kobe Mainu. And Mainu plays it into the centre circle there to Dallo. Dallo to Maguire. Back to Mazraoui. Mazraoui to Mainu. Mainu's going to go long over on the far side to Marcus Rashford. He's got a ton of space over on that left-hand side. He swings across in. Oh, it's a poor cross. It's a poor cross, and Diogo Carlos wins it. And now Aston Villa on the break. It's Morgan Rogers. Rogers plays the ball to Bailey. Corner of the penalty area, right-hand side for Villa. But he is dispossessed well by Diogo Dalla. And now Manchester United can come forward with Christian Eriksen, who's dispossessed by Tielemans. Tielemans plays it to Rogers again down this right-hand side. Rogers cuts inside. Back to Tielemans. Holds up the ball. Tielemans gets a shot away, and it's blocked by Johnny Evans and goes behind. And we're going to have our first corner of the game for either side on 32 minutes, which gives you some idea how this first half has gone. A real, if I'm being honest, lack of creativity from both sides in the first half. Chances have been carved, but both sides have been happy to sit back at the moment and not really penetrate the opposition defence. But we have a corner now for Aston Villa. Just trying to see who's going to go over there on that right-hand side to take it. I suspect it'll be Matty Cash, but we'll just take a look and see who it is. As Andre Onana tries to organise the Manchester United defence. It's in fact Luca Dean that's going to take this corner, as he is going to swing this one in. As Villa loading the penalty area. It's headed away there by Mainu, but only as far as Tielemans. Tielemans drops the ball to Cash. Can Cash get the cross? And he can, but it's a poor one. Cleared away by Eriksen. And just trying to shield the ball and bring it under control there is Rasmus Højlund. And he does. He gives the ball to Mazraoui. Back to Højlund. Højlund goes down under the challenge of Yuri Tielemans. And I think Højlund bought that, if I'm being honest. Let's just take a look at that again. Tielemans cuts across and Højlund goes down. Let's just take a look here. I actually think Højlund buys that one, to be honest, and Tielemans perhaps a little unlucky in that situation. 33 minutes gone, Aston Villa 0, Manchester United 0. Free kick is going to be taken there by the number 3, Mazraoui, and it's over to Johnny Evans. Johnny Evans plays a short ball to Rashford. Rashford drops the ball back to Eriksen. And over again there is Johnny Evans just trying to play the ball forward, but it was blocked by Morgan Rogers and goes out of play. As Unai Emery, 3 wins in 14 games as a manager versus Manchester United. He doesn't have the greatest record against the Reds. And here is Mainu, plays the ball to Fernandes. Fernandes lifts the ball over the top into the penalty area to Garnacho. Garnacho now is being monitored closely there by Ross Barkley in this situation. It's released there now to Mazraoui. Mazraoui is in an offside position, and it is going to be a free kick. Seems to be some drama at Stamford Bridge, Ross?
Yes, Chelsea wanted a penalty after Cole Palmer went down on the right-hand side of the Forest penalty on the left-hand side for them under the challenge of Milenkovic. However, it was already given, the flag had already gone up for offside against Cole Palmer. I haven't seen it on the replay, Paul. I don't think Palmer was offside, and there weren't much of a contact in it to give a penalty either. 35 minutes gone here, is still Chelsea 0, Nottingham Forest 0.
Thank you, Ross. As we just take a look at Sir Jim Radcliffe, Sir Alex Ferguson over there on the far right, as the Manchester United officials that have also made this trip to Villa Park looking on. I suppose the they might well be thinking at least we're not losing. And there's a good ball by Ross Barkley. Chasing it is Philogene. It's cleared away by Nasraoui, but only as far as Luca Dean, who crosses the ball to the back post, and Leon Bailey just not able to bring that ball down, and it goes out for a throw-in. But that was a wicked cross by Luca Dean, as Philogene really just put the pressure on Nasraoui, and it was whipped in by Luca Dean. But Leon Bailey just not able to get on the end of that, which is a pity as far as Villa are concerned, because that really was a super cross by the Frenchman. We've got 10 minutes to go till half time, both 0-0 here at Villa Park, and in our other game between Chelsea and Forest, as going down under that challenge is Leon Bailey from Harry Maguire, and Harry Maguire is going to get a booking for this. He's going over to complain to the linesman on the far side, and Harry Maguire picks up a yellow card. And well, again, I think that was unfortunate in this case for Harry Maguire, because again, I thought that free kick was bought. Well, his arm cuts across him. Let's have a look here. Let's see. His arm goes across Watkins, but I do think Watkins goes down very, very easily. And I think that is more bought, really, from Ollie Watkins. A yellow card, though, for Harry Maguire, and a free kick for Aston Villa in a pretty dangerous position, in fairness. Just almost level with the Manchester United penalty area down the right-hand side. Actually, I would argue it's actually rather closer to the 6-yard line, about 10 yards in from the touchline. So this is a dangerous position, which Luca Dean is going to take the free kick here. And Luca Dean is going to swing this one in. And there's Rasmus Højlund looking to defend this position. Pau Torres in there. Leon Bailey in there. All looking to create some havoc. Obviously, Ross Barkley, you can expect Ollie Watkins. There he is. All lining up on the edge of the 6-yard box. He may play this one short, Luca Dean. Tielemans is lurking on the edge of the penalty area. It's going to be swung in by Luca Dean, and in the end it was more of a shot than a cross. And it's right down the throat of Andre Onana, and rather a disappointing end to that free kick as far as Villa are concerned. But now Manchester United on the break with Garnacho, who's down the left-hand side this time. Garnacho gets to the corner of the penalty area. Garnacho under pressure from Ross Barkley. He keeps possession well there, though, and releases it to Dalot. Dalot swings the ball in, and it's cleared away by Diego Carlos. It's launched back into the box, and it's now with Garnacho again. Garnacho with a shot, and that's a good save from Emiliano Martinez. And Martinez is claiming that he kept the ball in play, and the official on this near side, Ackelhausen, agrees. So let's hear about a chance for Nottingham Forest.
Yes, Paul, is a fantastic interception from Murillo, the centre-back, and he charges forward really, really well, challenged all the way, gets to the edge of the penalty, fantastic effort on goal, pushed away by Robert Sanchez. It remains 0-0, but that was probably Forest's best chance of this first half as they come forward again, which is going towards the penalty. Look for Chris Wood, it's claimed by Sanchez, still 0-0.
Thanks, Ross. So 0-0 in both of our games. Here's Pau Torres, gives the ball to Luca Dean, and back to Pau Torres, who releases the ball to Diego Carlos. Diego Carlos launches the ball long, looking for Luca Dean. Luca Dean touches the ball, brings it down there, and gives it to Leon Bailey, who releases it back to Luca Dean. This is good play there by Yuri Tielemans. Back to Ross Barkley. Does Barkley fancy a shot? No, he's going to play it there to Bailey. This time again, down the right-hand side. Bailey with a shot. Come cross, really, but Villa somehow still maintain possession. And finally, Kobe Mainoo trying to break the ball away. But Luca Dean wins the ball back, and it's a foul, in fact. And a free kick to Manchester United. As we take... Yes, there it is. It's he just kind of pushed over Garnacho, and a free kick. Well, Manchester United will be fairly happy with this first half. I mean, I think most people really had them written off for this game. But it's 0-0 as we approach 5 minutes to go till half time. and it's been a fairly even Stevens game. No team has really dominated the other. It has in fact been quite a drab first half, it has to be said. It's headed down by Christian Eriksen, plays the ball into the centre circle, and it's now with Kobe Mainoo. Kobe Mainoo leaves his foot in there. That'll be a free kick to Aston Villa for the foul on Yuri Tielemans. And Manchester United, well, it's an opportunity for them to see if they can perhaps get maybe 3 points from this game. Kobe Mainoo just left his foot in there. He's going to pick up a yellow card for that, I suspect. Just left his foot in on Tielemans, and we'll just see what the referee has given here, as Tielemans is still down. But I think it's just going to be a yellow. I think I can't see it being any more than that. And Kobe Mainoo indeed gets the yellow card. That's 3 in the book in the first half for Manchester United. At half time, we'll get a report from Stamford Bridge. Here is Pau Torres now for Aston Villa. Just over the halfway line. Torres gives the ball to Luca Dean. It's won back by Garnacho, but he just kicks the ball back into the Villa half of the field. Pau Torres again. Torres drops the ball back there to Diego Carlos. Let's hear about a couple of chances for Chelsea.
Yes, thanks, Paul. Fantastic bit of play from Noni Madueke again, who forces a fantastic save from Sel. Comes back out to Enzo Fernandez, who also forces a good save out of Marcel's. Chelsea going in confidence. Madueke seems to be the difference maker in opening the Forest defence. We're still 0-0, 42 minutes gone here.
Thank you very much. We've got 42 minutes gone here at Villa Park as well. Pau Torres just plays the ball forward. Just looking there for in that position there was Leon Bailey, I think, and he wins that ball back. Goes down under pressure. It's actually Philogene goes down under pressure from Garnacho, and the referee is given a free kick. Garnacho not happy with that decision, but refrains from complaining about it. It's going to be a free kick here for Aston Villa. And Manchester United, once again, just giving away a couple of silly free kicks from this position at the moment. And we're just going to see whether Villa can do anything from this free kick. Still 0-0 at Stamford Bridge. We'll get a half-time report for you as soon as it hits half-time there. Yuri Tielemans is going to take the free kick. It's at the corner of the penalty area, left-hand side. It's a pretty dangerous position. Let's see if he can swing this ball in. Right in front of the Holt end at Villa Park. Back to the rafters is Villa Park right now. It's swung in by Tielemans, and Andre Onana just plucks that one out of the air. Meat and drink for the Cameroon international. Really, the free kick was poorly delivered there, and Onana just holds the ball now, and he's going to take his time because they're not going to want to concede anything before half time. Right before half time, ball is played forward there to Diogo Dalla. Dalla over the halfway line, looking for Eriksen. That ball was a bit wayward though, and it's won back quickly by Tielemans, who plays the ball back to Matty Cash. Cash goes all the way back to the goalkeeper, who clears it downfield, and Eriksen heads it on again, but only as far as Pau Torres. Torres is dispossessed by Rasmus Højlund. Højlund now to Rashford, lifted over the top, looking for Højlund again, but that's a very poor ball by Marcus Rashford, and we have a minute to go until half time. And we'll kind of get an idea of how much stoppages are going to be added at the end of this first half. Just way too much weight on that ball by Rashford. And it's Emiliano Martinez who clears the ball downfield. And brought under control well, Matty Cash there. Just stepping away from Christian Eriksen and dropping the ball back to Diego Carlos, who gives the ball back to the goalkeeper, Martinez again, who clears the ball downfield. But it's Manchester United who win possession, but challenged Kobe Mainoo brilliantly there was Leon Bailey. And now Aston Villa have the ball with Luca Dean. Gives the ball to Yuri Tielemans. Tielemans does a quick 1-2 with Ross Barkley. And that's a good ball now to Diego Carlos. Villa just trying to settle in possession for a while. Here's Luca Dean to Bailey. Back to Dean. Dean inside the centre circle there to Diego Carlos, a substitute, on for the injured Esme Consa. The ball is played forward, looking for Luca Dean there from Pau Torres, but that's a poor ball, and now Manchester United can try to break. It's a long ball over the top to Rasmus Højlund, chasing it one-on-one there is Diego Carlos, and Rasmus Højlund claiming he was fouled and demanding a yellow card for it. On top of that, gets neither, and we have 3 minutes of stoppage time as we enter the final period of this first half. We understand there's a minute of stoppage time at Stamford Bridge. As I said, at half-time, we'll get an update for you there. But at the moment, it's 0-0 here, and we have 3 minutes of stoppage time. The ball is played long, all the way downfield. It's half-time at Stamford Bridge. In a moment, we'll get an update. But here's Ollie Watkins. Just getting into the penalty area now is Watkins. Pulls the ball back to Tielemans. Tielemans tries to find Watkins again. And now Philogene trying to get in on the action. But it's cleared away there by Johnny Evans. OK, let's get a half-time report from Stamford Bridge, where I believe it's 0-0 at half-time, Russ.
Yes, Paul, it is. It's Chelsea and Nottingham Forest. No chances for both sides. I think Nuno Espirito Santos will probably be happy going into break at half-time. Chances of the law of possession and chances will have been able to stifle the Chelsea attacks of Nottingham Forest. Had chances of their own, and as I say, neither side have been able to take their chances. But at the break, it is still 0-0. And just as we entered the first half stoppage time, Ranieri wanted a penalty, but he was just offside. So the score at half-time at Stamford Bridge is Chelsea 0, Nottingham Forest 0.
Thank you, Ross. It's going to be a free kick to Aston Villa here for the foul by Johnny Evans on Leon Bailey, and he is not happy with that. He's arguing with the referee, and Rob Jones have just gone over and told him to calm down a bit. Excuse me. The free kick is about 30 yards out, just towards the corner of the penalty area. And Rodgers, Watkins, Diogo Carlos, Torres are all in there. Standing over it is Luca Dean and Tielemans. It's whipped in by Dean, headed out by Bruno Fernandes, only as far as Luca Dean again. There's Bailey, drops the ball back to Carlos. It's swung in, and almost on the end of that was Ollie Watkins, and finally cleared out of play by Mazraoui. And it's going to be a throw-in to Aston Villa, which, or is it a foul on Harry Maguire? Maguire is down. Let's just take a look. It might be for a foul on Harry Maguire. Just trying to look at that, but I didn't really see anything there with Harry Maguire, but it looks like it might be a free kick for Manchester United. As I'm still trying to figure out from the replay just what has gone on there. But Harry Maguire there, one of his socks has ripped. And it looks like he's taken a bit of a knock as Harry Maguire, as he is just sort of limping off now. He doesn't look, he's not moving comfortably at all. And he just gets off onto the sideline to receive some treatment. So Manchester United may be forced into another substitution here. Manchester United may be forced into their first substitution here. And already stripping off, I'm just trying to see who that is on the far side. Let's have a look. I mean, you would have thought the obvious choice would be Lisandro Martinez, but there is also Victor Lindelof or Matthijs de Ligt. Probably Matthijs de Ligt, I would have thought. But it is, in fact, half-time here. The referee blows for half-time, I think. Yes, they're heading off there. So it blows for half-time. We certainly haven't played the full 3 minutes of stoppage time. But it is, in fact, half-time. And it is Manchester United who are holding Aston Villa to 0-0 right now. Neither side really taking their chances as Harry Maguire is being helped to the dressing room. But Manchester United and Aston Villa locked at 0-0 right now. Chances for either side in the first half. Obviously, Leon Bailey having an opportunity, and of course, Rashford forcing a good save from Emiliano Martinez. But that is about as good as it's got at Villa Park. It's half-time. Aston Villa 0, Manchester United 0. Back to you, Russ.
Thank you very much there, Paul, James, and Paul. Just before you go off for your half-time drink and cup of tea, and what have you. But just give us a overall view of that first half. Who's, in your opinion, who's had the better chances, and who do you think will be happier of the two managers going in at 0-0 at half time, please?
Well, I think both sides have had chances, but I don't think any one team has really taken control of the game. I think there's been a lot of standoffishness from both sides, a little bit too much respect for given by both sides to each other. There has been one or two chances, of course, but the lack of creativity, it's just not there for either side at the moment. And right now, from what I can see, I don't see where the first goal is coming from. But I think the happier manager will be Eric Ten Hag. I think as the visiting manager, and certainly Manchester United would have been considered underdogs for today's game, which is a position that they're not used to being in. So I think Eric Ten Hag will be happy with that at half time, and we'll see if the team can build on that for the second half.
Thank you very much, then, Paul. Paul will now go for his half time drink and cup of tea as I bring you some half time scores from the other games that are taking place today, including some WSL games, Women's Super League games, and other games as well as a game in the Championship, which will be kicking off in round about 6 minutes, 7 or so minutes time between Bristol City and Cardiff City. So, as a recap, in the half-time scores in the Premier League, as you can see on the screen, Aston Villa 0, Manchester United 0, as I mentioned a few moments ago, Chelsea 0, Nottingham Forest 0 at Stamford Bridge. As I mentioned in the Championship, 3 o'clock kick-off there is Bristol City against Cardiff City in the Championship this afternoon. Kick-off at 3 o'clock there. Well, this is a Bristol City side for you. O'Leary, Tanner, Viner, McNally, Pring, Williams, Knight, Aquara, Twine, Nemeti and Armstrong. As for Cardiff, Alnwick, NG, Gutas, Chambers, Bagan, Robertson and Walls, Tanner, Colwell, El Ghazi and Robinson in attack. That's Ruben Colwell, not to be mistaken with Levi Colwell, who's playing for Chelsea in the Premier League at Stamford Bridge against Nottingham Forest this afternoon. In the Premier League 2, which is the under 21s league, Manchester United lost by a goal to Liverpool there. Tyler Morton with the goal on 67 minutes in that one there this afternoon. In the Women's Super League, as I mentioned, Chelsea v Manchester United, match was postponed earlier today in that game that should have kicked off at 12 o'clock this afternoon. Coming up towards the closing stages of the 1 o'clock kickoff, Man City 2, West Ham United 0. Half-time score, it is Arsenal 0, Everton 0, with 40 minutes on the clock. It is Tottenham 0, Liverpool 1, and at 3 o'clock is Leicester against Crystal Palace. In the WSL, in the Women's Championship, Sheffield United 2, Bristol City 4, closing stage of that game there. All our times in the rest of them, Birmingham 1, Blackburn 0, Charlton 1, Sunderland 2, London City Lionesses 2, Portsmouth 0, Newcastle 0, Durham 0. French League A, Lyon 1, Nantes 0 is an half-time score there. Some other games, 3 games kick off at 4 o'clock and an evening kick off at 7:45. There in the German Bundesliga, Heidenheim 0, Leipzig 0 after 26 minutes. Frankfurt take on Bayern at half-4, with Stuttgart against Hoffenheim at 6:30. In the Italian Serie A, Juventus drew 1-1 with Cagliari earlier on. The half-time scores is Bologna 0, Parma 0 and Lazio 1, Empoli 1. In the Dutch Eredivisie, it finished Scored Eagles 4, Hercules 1, Feyenoord 2, FC Twente 0, Heerenveen 1, Pek Zwolle 1 is those other two are latest scores there in the Dutch Eredivisie. In the Nigerian Premier League NPFL, Zawara against Vélez United currently 0-0 at half-time there. Scottish Premiership today, Ross County 1, Celtic 2. Celtic scored 2 second-half goals there. Johnston and Kunn with the goals there. That was after Hale scored from the penalty spot. Second time of asking after Kasper Schmeichel moved off his line for the first penalty. Aberdeen against Arsenal 3. And then this evening's game in the Scottish Premiership is Rangers against St Johnstone. Spanish La Liga, Girona 1, Athletic Club 1, closing stages of that game there. What I'm going to do, I'm going to tell you for a quick, I'm going to go for a quick break. When we return, we're back with the second half action from both of our 2 p.m. Premier League kickoffs. Join us shortly. Welcome back to the Country Hub's coverage. Aston Villa versus Manchester United. Also updates on Chelsea against Nottingham Forest. We'll be back with you for the second half kickoff for that game in just a moment. The Aston Villa Manchester United game, the second half, we're about to get underway very, very shortly in that game. The teams are coming out as Stamford Bridge until kickoff arrives at Villa Park. We'll give a bit of commentary from the game at Stamford Bridge as the second half will probably go underway just a few seconds before the game at Villa Park. So we'll give you a bit of extra commentary of our Premier League action this afternoon. Video Jingles and Gaming says, United have not conceded any goals in the first half. They could come out with a win or a draw here, but there is the second half to go. He says, as a neutral, I've got to say Man United have had a good first half in his opinion, or in their opinion. Not sure if it's a man, male or female there. Nottingham Forest about getting ready to get underway. Chelsea will kick us off, attacking the goal away to my right hand side in the second half. Looks like no changes for them. Cole Palmer about to get us back underway at Stamford Bridge. As soon as the kickoff happens at Old Trafford, not Old Trafford, Villa Park, will get you back across to Paul James. No changes for either side there. So it's Sanchez in goal, Gusto, Pafona, Cowell and Correa, Caicedo, Fernandez, Madueke, Palmer, Sancho, Jackson. For Forest is Sells, Erna, Malenkovic, Murillo, Moreno, Yates, Ward-Prowse, Anderson, Gibbs-White, Hudson-Odoi and Wood. As Chelsea have got early touch of the possession, Madueke can't get there. And now here comes Alex Moreno, charging forward up towards halfway, not back here. And Nicholas Jackson trying to get away there, but Murillo does well. He's had a play for a throw in here to Chelsea on this right-hand side, which Malo Gusto will take. Well, Jackson takes it back to Gusto, back inside his own half an hour, and Wesley Fofana. Fofana will look up and another ball across here to Levi Cowell. The second half about to get underway, I believe, now at Villa Park as Chelsea just trying to come forward. Cole Palmer has possession, still 0-0. Almost a minute gone in the second half as the ball over the top. Looking for the one of Madueke. Can he get behind here? He can. Murillo does well. And Murillo tells well here. It's still 0-0 at Stamford Bridge. Let's hand back over to Villa Park. The second half action. Aston Villa against Manchester United, your commentary game.
Thank you very much for that, Ross. So it looks like Matthijs de Ligt is the man to replace the injured Harry Maguire, and Mazraoui will be coming off as well to Victor Lindelof. So a couple of half-time substitutions for Manchester United, nothing for Aston Villa. So de Ligt and Lindelof are on, and the injured Harry Maguire and Mazraoui are off. So the second half about to get underway for this commentary game today on the Commentary Hub. Also updates from Stamford Bridge of Nottingham Forest versus Chelsea. We're hoping the second half brings in some goals in at least one of our games. And Unai Emery just makes his way to the bench now as his second half is about to get underway. Excuse me. Villa to get the second half underway. They'll be attacking the goal to our right. Normally they attack the whole 10 in the second half, but I guess Manchester United won the toss and chose to attack on that side. Had Villa attack that side in the first half. But the second half is underway now, and Villa get the game back underway in their claret and blue jerseys, white shorts, sky blue socks. Manchester United in their road jerseys, white shirts, black socks, and black shorts and white socks. They are holding Villa to 0-0 right now. Excuse me. The ball is played forward by Luca Dean now, looking for Leon Bailey, who's of course hoping to change that. Down the right-hand side, Leon Bailey just steps away from Diogo Dalla. And it's going to be a throw-in to Aston Villa. It's going to be taken by the number 2 for Villa there. Matty Cash throws it long into the box. It's headed out there by Victor Lindelof and picked up by Harry Maguire. And there's a ball by Kobe Mainu, who plays it. Oh, it's over the top there of the number 9, Rasmus Højlund. And it's just picked up there by the number 3. Carlos plays the ball forward. And that's good play by Ross Barkley. Ross Barkley, can he set Leon Bailey away down the right? Instead, he gives it to Matty Cash. Cash gives it to Leon Bailey. Leon Bailey swings the ball in. It's too low, and it's hacked away by by Johnny Evans, and it's going to be a throw-in to Aston Villa, level with their own penalty area. As we see the throw-in to be taken now there. Oh, it's taken very quickly there by Matty Cash. It's given the ball to Diego Carlos. Carlos, ball played across to Pau Torres. Torres out to Tielemans. Tielemans drops the ball over on the far side there. There has been a goal at Stamford Bridge. Ross, tell us all about it.
Yes, Paul, and is not the goal you'd be expecting. Chelsea 0, Nottingham Forest 1, and there's a free kick from Nottingham Forest. Cross gives into the penalty area, and if Milenkovic across, Chris Wood slides in, gets a touch to the ball, and diverts Sanchez into the back of the net. We played almost 5 minutes of the second half, and Chris Wood has given Nottingham Forest the lead here at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea 0, Nottingham Forest 1.
Thank you, Russ. Well, we finally have a goal, and yes, it's certainly not the goal that we expected. But Nottingham Forest have been pretty good on the road this season. At home, they still haven't got a home victory yet, but have been pretty good on the road this season. And Chris Wood gives the Reds the lead at Stamford Bridge. As this ball is picked up here now by Marcus Rashford down the left-hand side. Rashford, corner of the penalty area, drops it back to Ericsson. Ericsson gives the ball to Kobe Mainoo. He's about 35 yards out. Mainoo strikes a shot. It's blocked and tried to be cleared away there by Diego Carlos, and it's won back again by Mainoo. Good play by him. Here's Rashford now. Corner of the penalty area. Switches into the middle. Rashford! Oh, it's a super save by Emiliano Martinez. And Rashford just cut inside on the left-hand side and really forced this shot on Martinez, and I'm just wondering whether he actually got a fingertip to it or not. It looked like initially that he had, but I actually think a goal kick has been given. Let's have a look. Yes, it might have clipped the top of the crossbar actually. But how close was that for Manchester United? And you can see the frustration. In fact, a corner has been given. It was the save has been credited to Martinez, and so it should. What a super save it was. The corner now to be taken by Ericsson on the right-hand side, swung into the box. Now to Garnacho with a shot on the edge of the area, but that one is pulled wide. Manchester United starting as they mean to go on in this second half with 4 minutes gone. Media, Radio, Jingles and Gaming says, what a shock from Forest. They are creating some surprise goals in the new seasons, especially when they stopped Arne Slot's unbeaten run at Liverpool. Yes, they've been very, very impressive on the road of Nottingham Forest this season, and certainly it's a type of start that the owner was looking for, Marinakis. He was looking for a top 10 sort of for Forest to be in the top 10, and yeah, he's certainly getting his wish now. Here's Kobe Mainoo, cuts inside. That's a good challenge there, and it's given now to Leon Bailey. Villa being pressed back into their own half right now. Bailey gets the ball back off Pau Torres, tries to lift the ball over to Tielemans. That's a super ball from Leon Bailey, and now Villa can come out on the break. Here is Luca Dean, gives the ball to Pau Torres. Options left and right for the Spaniard. Torres goes across to Luca Dean again. Can he get the cross in, Luca Dean? Good block by Garnacho, and it goes behind for a corner to Aston Villa. The question there by Media, Radio, Jingles and Gaming says, how can they win away and not at home? Well, sometimes you wonder that question, don't you? I mean, it sometimes boils down to confidence. That can be the reason. There could be a number of reasons. Some of the teams certainly feel more pressure at home than away. I think Manchester United is an example of that. But the corner is going to be taken on the left-hand side here, and it's taken short as far as Luca Dean, edge of the penalty area. Dean with a shot, and just whistles over the top. And that was actually Matty Cash. I apologise. Swung that shot over the crossbar. But a good effort as Aston Villa now starting to give as good as they're getting. And, well, it's a goal kick. Russ, why don't you tell us Chelsea's response at Stamford Bridge? Have they come back into this, or are Forest sort of taking control of this lead?
Forest are actually defending quite well, Paul. Chelsea have tried to respond, but Forest are winning the second balls and winning the challenges in midfield and not allowing Chelsea any time and possession on them and closing them down well. And as you speak to me, Forest coming forward again with Gibbs White over on that far side. How I now to Callum Hudson-Odoi. It was a penalty, pulls it back, shot, save there, fantastically well. Brilliant bit of movement from Forest again then. Elliot Anderson won the effort this time. 54 minutes on the clock. Well, where Gibbs White out by Hudson-Odoi. Pulls it back to Elliot Anderson. And a shot was saved there brilliantly by Robert Sanchez. But Forest still seem to be on the front foot and carving Chelsea open at every available opportunity. 54 minutes gone. It's still Chelsea 0, Forest 1.
Thank you, Ross. Manchester United pick up the ball in midfield there. And the ball is given out to Diogo Dalla from Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes gets the ball back. And he's midway inside the Villa penalty area. He goes long over on the far side looking for Garnacho. Garnacho unable to control that. And Luca Dean nips in and wins that ball back. Gives the ball to Pau Torres, plays it long, and that's a good challenge there by Ross Barkley. Almost Manchester United won that ball back there. But now Villa breaking forward, 4-on-4 if they can hurry. It's Ollie Watkins. He just showed a bit too much of it there to the number 4 Matthias de Ligt, and Manchester United win the ball back. But what an opportunity and a possible breakout that was for Villa. But Ollie Watkins just showed a bit too much of it to Matthias de Ligt. And the ball was played forward there as well to Kobe Mainoo, and he gave the ball away to Luca Dean, and Luca Dean gives the ball back to the goalkeeper. So we've had 8 minutes gone in the second half. We're 0-0 here. It's 1-0 to Nottingham Forest at Stamford Bridge. The ball is played long. Again, looking for Ollie Watkins, but that's good work by Matthias de Ligt, who gives the ball to Ericsson, and he drops the ball back to Johnny Evans. And just clearing the ball there is Andre Onana while he's looking to get Rashford into the game. Rashford drops the ball back. Looks like Rashford has switched from the left to the right in this second half with Garnacho now over on the left-hand side. We saw this at in the game at Old Trafford last week against Tottenham Hotspur. Here's Johnny Evans now for Manchester United, midway inside his own half of the field, and he gives the ball there to Matthias de Ligt. De Ligt to Lindelof. Lindelof just drops the ball back there to the goalkeeper as Manchester United just looking to maintain possession. And the ball is with the number 14, Ericsson. Ericsson goes long over the top, just looking there for Rasmus Højlund, and it doesn't find him. It goes all the way through to the goalkeeper. And Emiliano Martinez now just picks up the ball. And Martinez takes the ball outside of his penalty area, quite happy just to take his time with this, and finally releases the ball to Pau Torres. Torres back to the goalkeeper, Martinez. And Martinez, is just holding the ball up here. And it's back with Diego Carlos, gives it back to Martinez. There's been another goal at Stamford Bridge. Where has it come to, Ross?
Yes, in Chelsea 11, and it's that man who's been there danger, Noni Madueke, down the right-hand side again, pushes across the face of the goalkeeper and into the back of the net. It's now Chelsea 1, Nottingham Forest 1, Chelsea have their equaliser.
Well, here's a chance now for for Matty Cash to get the cross in. It's a good challenge there by Garnacho. Just gets his head on that and puts it wide. But that was a really, really good chance here for Villa. It just fell to Matty Cash. But this is fantastic defending. In fact, it comes off Diogo Dalla in the end and goes behind for a corner. But 1-1 at Stamford Bridge then. Noni Madueke with the equaliser. So that lead for Forest did not last long. But it's a corner for Aston Villa, and it's going to be taken by Luca Dean. Ollie Watkins is in there. Ross Barkley is in there. Villa looking to perhaps draw first blood in this game. Dean plays it to short to Bailey. Bailey to Tielemans on the edge of the area. A good save by Andre Onana, forcing a fantastic save from the goalkeeper there. Really good move by Villa. Short corner to the edge of the area. A strike by Tielemans, and Onana getting to his left-hand side and powering it away for another corner to Aston Villa, which again, over on the right-hand side, it'll be Luca Dean as Pau Torres just sort of pushing and shoving with Hoyland. Here's Dean from the corner, plays it short again. Oh, he tried to play it through to Leon Bailey, but that's really good defending by Johnny Evans. We've got, that goes behind for a goal kick, but we've got media radio jingles and gaming saying, well, that didn't last long for Forest. No, certainly didn't. Chelsea drawing themselves level very, very quickly. And here's Johnny Evans now. Johnny Evans plays the ball forward looking for Rashford. Rashford hooks the ball in the air. It's won back by Barkley, and then Ollie Watkins gives the ball to Rodgers and gets it back from Rodgers. The shot from Ollie Watkins is just over the crossbar, and the chances coming thick and fast for Villa right now as they try to gain some control over this game. It was really a speculative effort by Ollie Watkins. I just wonder whether Onana gets a touch on this. We'll just see. Actually, that might have just cleared his hand. It's just over the crossbar. And it is a goal kick. Okay, let's hear of another chance for Chelsea as they attempt to get the lead over Forest. Ross.
Yes, Paul, and it's that man again, Noni Madueke. A chance from just inside the penalty area this time, just over the bar this time as well. But Chelsea seem to be going back in confidence now they've got their equaliser. Forest still probing, Forest still trying to get their noses back into the lead. But Chelsea seem to have then tails up now as they come forward with Cole Palmer. There's a penalty at Palmer. Going one with another back into the goal scorer Madueke. Can he get striking gusto with the cross towards Jackson at the back post? And he comes off in behind for a corner to Chelsea, still 1-1. And now we're going here at Stamford Bridge.
Thank you very much. We've had 58 minutes gone here, so almost an hour ourselves here at Villa Park. Here's Pau Torres, as the second half certainly has been a bit more livelier than the first. Here is Matty Cash, gives the ball back to Diego Carlos, who drops it back to Emiliano Martinez as he holds the ball and drops it back to Pau Torres. Torres across to Luca Dean, back to Torres again. Torres just lifts the ball up and he's looking there for Ollie Watkins. Rodgers though brings the ball under control, and it's always a beautifully lifted ball from Tielemans across to Matty Cash now. Cash storming forward, being chased by Rashford. Is he fouled there? The referee says yes, and it's a free kick to Aston Villa midway inside the Manchester United half of the field, and you can see he's clipped here as he just tries to turn Marcus Rashford there, and Rashford just sticks his boot in, and that is a forwards tackle if I've ever seen one. And we're going to see a yellow card given to Marcus Rashford there. Perhaps a little bit harsh in my mind. He caught him. I think it was a late challenge. It wasn't a particularly dangerous one, but that's the fourth booking of the game for Manchester United, as the free kick is going to be taken here. And Tielemans and Luca Dean are standing over this one. Manchester United high line on the edge of their 18-yard box. We'll see how this affects the play, the way they play this free kick, and it looks like it's Tielemans who's going to take it. No, Dean. Finally, they both. Well, Tielemans eventually gives the ball to Bailey. It's swung into the box. They both kind of dummied that for about 3 or 4 attempts before Tielemans played the short ball. And here is Ollie Watkins, gives it to Rodgers, tries to find Watkins again, but that was read really well by Matthijs de Ligt, who clears the ball out of play for a throw-in to Aston Villa. And Manchester media radio jingles and gaming says Manchester United seem to be having quite a good game despite not scoring, but haven't conceded either, and it is away from home. And Aston Villa are preparing the number 9 to come on as we speak. Action on the Villa bench there, and that number 9 of course is John Duran, the Colombian. It's out to the number 8 Tielemans from the throw-in. He drops the ball back there to Morgan Rodgers. And here's Matty Cash. He's got Leon Bailey down the right-hand side. He finds Leon Bailey. Bailey cuts towards the byline. Oh, he goes down. Is he fouled? The referee said yes. And it's Rashford again. He needs to be careful. He's already been booked once. And it's going to be a free kick. Media Radio Jingles and Games said I thought Villa will win this game, looking at their Champions League performance and, of course, Man United's embarrassing performance against Tottenham last week. But it could go the other way around. Well, right now the game is in the balance, so I mean it can go either way, to be honest. But that's a late challenge. Now, look, here's the thing with the consistency of the officials. I actually think that one is worse than the first one, but this time no booking. We've discussed the consistency of the officials, and I just think it's not there, to be honest. But the free kick is going to be taken by Luca Dean. It's almost level with the 6-yard box, and the substitution is going to take place now. Leon Bailey is going to be making way, and coming on is John Duran on the 62nd minute mark at Villa Park. Leon Bailey coming off. He's been mostly quiet in this game, really, Leon Bailey. He's had a couple of cameos as the Holt End applauding the performance from Leon Bailey. And John Duran, we know he's capable of scoring goals. He's on now. And the free kick is going to be taken by Luca Dean. Duran makes his place in the middle along with Morgan Rogers. And on the edge of the penalty area there, it's swung in and it's just up in the air. It can't finally bounces out only as far there as Ollie Watkins, but his shot is looped over the crossbar and it goes behind for a goal kick, which Andre Onana will take all the time in the world with. And Media Radio Jingles and Gaming says, I'm not sure why John Duran is never in the starting lineup for Villa, as he does score brilliant goals for them. We're going to see a change here. We are going to see Anthony coming on for Marcus Rashford. So Rashford will make way. It's probably a good choice too, considering he must be close to potentially being red carded. Joshua Zirkzee, I think, is also coming on, and that will be for Rasmus Højlund, of course. And we'll see that. So, yes. So, double substitution for Manchester United. Højlund and Rashford are off. Zirkzee and Anthony are on. That's the third and fourth substitution for Manchester United. Just the two for Aston Villa. As here's Matty Cash. He has fouled Anthony. Welcoming Anthony to the game. Matty Cash is claiming that he won the ball. The referee said no. Just going to hear about a substitution for Nottingham Forest, Ross.
Yes, Paul. Still 1-1 at Stamford Bridge, 67 minutes on the clock. Elliot Anderson was done reasonably well today. Not really got into the game much, but when he has, he's done really, really well. And he's been replaced by Jota Silva this afternoon for Nottingham Forest. It's still 1-1, and we've just ticked over into the 67th minute.
Thank you very much, Ross. And it's going to be a throw into Aston Villa over on that left-hand side, level with their own penalty area. And it looks like it's going to be Luca Dean to take that one. It's a long throw, headed up into the air by Højlund and headed on there by Morgan Rogers to Ollie Watkins. And Watkins still fighting for possession, but Matthijs de Ligt just getting in and making a vital challenge there to stop Ollie Watkins from breaking away. Throw-in taken quickly, and here's into the penalty area is Rogers, but he's given the ball away to Eriksson. And finally, Bruno Fernandes is going to try and clear this ball away. He's under pressure from Rogers, and Rogers wins the ball back, but it's a free kick to Manchester United. As Bruno Fernandes wins a free kick that time. And 65 minutes gone. And it is 0-0 here. Ross, how are things going at Stamford Bridge? Are Chelsea looking like they're going to take the lead, or are Nottingham Forest looking like they might grab another one?
Well, Chelsea have just won a free kick, and it was a free kick for Sherpool by Ryan Yates and Enzo Fernandez. But Fernandez is looking up to see at least a yellow card for me following that, because he retaliates by raising his arm and puts his elbow and forearm into the face of Ryan Yates. The referee just has a word with Fernandez. No booking there. or a red card as Chelsea moving forward. Chelsea have had chances to take the lead. Forest have tried getting back at them as Moreno just puts it behind for a corner for Nottingham for Chelsea. It is still Chelsea 1, Nottingham Forest 1. Chelsea pressing at this moment in time, Paul, but it's still 1-1 at Stamford Bridge.
Thank you, Ross. As here is Garnacho, and he's fouled, and that's about 25 yards out. It's going to be a free kick to Manchester United in a very dangerous position. Matty Cash can't believe that free kick has been given. Garnacho, well, they did. Garnacho wins that free kick, I think, more than that is a foul. I think he's bought that free kick. There is some shirt tugging, but it's not enough to pull Garnacho over, I don't think. And Garnacho goes down, probably feels the pull on his shirt, goes down and wins this free kick. Christian Eriksen and Bruno Fernandes are standing over this. It's a very dangerous position. Like I said, about 25 yards out. Probably towards the left-hand side of the corner of the D. And Villa setting up a four-man wall. Emiliano Martinez just trying to organise this wall. And it's going to be taken by Bruno Fernandes, and surely he's going to be thinking about a shot from this. Evans looks... is in the corner of the wall along with Xerxes and Eriksen. There's a gap there between the wall and the three Manchester United players. I just wonder whether Fernandes may be looking at exploiting that, but he's got the free kick here. Tries to curl it in. Oh, it rattles the crossbar and then bounces back onto the edge of the area and struck wide. And Bruno Fernandes can't believe it as it rattles the crossbar. It was a brilliant free kick, and you have to say he found that it went over the wall, and it was Garnacho who tried to finish it from the rebound, but the goalkeeper was beaten all ends up. He wasn't getting there, rattled the crossbar, and Garnacho follows up on the rebound but puts it wide, and Villa let off the hook there as Matty Cash plays it back to Martinez. We're going to hear about an injury to a Nottingham Forest player in just a few moments' time. Let's see what Villa can do in response here. Over the halfway line comes Yuri Tielemans. Tielemans holds the ball up. And he's going to... Well, he still drops the ball back there to Ross Barkley. Tielemans now, midway inside the Manchester United half, just drops it back. Ross, let's just tell me about who that injury is for and how bad you think it is.
It's Morgan Gibbs-White, Paul. He goes down. Just first, I've got a free kick for an handball by Nodima Aweke in the process. But Gibbs-White goes down on the edge of the penalty area. He grabbed hold of his ankle straight away and didn't move the Morgan Gibbs-White. He's now sat up. He's got his boot and sock off. It looks quite bad for me, to be fair, Paul. And it looks like he maybe put his sock and boot back on, but it did look quite bad initially. So I'm not sure whether it'll be okay to continue with Morgan Gibbs-White. We're 72 minutes on the clock here. It's Chelsea 1, Nottingham Forest 1. First a free kick, run about the edge of the penalty for an handball by Nicholas Jackson.
Well, he's in the England squad as well as Morgan Gibbs-White, so this could be the second pull-out of the England squad. Not a good afternoon for Lee Carsley, as here's the cross coming in that time from Morgan Rogers, and he puts it behind, goes behind for a goal kick. A couple of comments in the comment section. How are Manchester United getting some good chances at Villa when they didn't at Old Trafford last week? They're certainly playing a lot better than they did last week. I mean, I think that was one of the worst Manchester United performances I've ever seen in my life, actually. Anyway, it's a goal kick to Aston Villa. To Manchester United, and it's Andre Onana who clears the ball to Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes releases the ball there to Victor Lindelof and then plays the ball forward. Fernandes, and it is Xerxes now, one-on-one with Diego Carlos, but nipping in and winning that challenge was Luca Dean very impressively. And that is a really good challenge. Xerxes had a lot of time on his hands there for a moment. Anthony plays the ball there to Bruno Fernandes. Here is Kobe Mainu. Mainu to Fernandes. Back to Lindelof. Matthias de Ligt. And Ericsson inside the centre circle for Manchester United. And again, Christian Eriksen just holding the ball up here and gives the ball to Matthijs de Ligt again. De Ligt sends the ball out there to Anthony. Anthony just picks up the ball and drops it to Eriksen. A super ball by Eriksen to Garnacho. Inside the penalty area, left-hand side, Garnacho swings the ball in and getting across and just making the touch there was Diego Carlos, who was quite lucky to not divert it into his own goal. And you can see here, because it was whipped across from Garnacho, and that could have gone anywhere. But fortunately for Aston Villa and Diego Carlos, it just bounces into the hands of Emiliano Martinez, and he's down at the moment is Diego Carlos. Let's just get an update on that injury for Morgan Gibbs-White, Ross.
Yes, Paul, he's gone off. He's managed to walk off without a boot on, so he's walked off. He did look a bit gingerly as he walked off. He did club the Forest fans as he walked off. So I first we're going to make a change. Not sure if we've actually done it just yet. We're about to take a free kick for that handball call. He's got a yellow card there. He just picked up a yellow card. I'm not sure what that was for. But James Ward-Prowse about to take a free kick for Nottingham Forest. Still 1-1, Paul.
All right. Well, it is with Emiliano Martinez now. We have about 17 minutes left to go at Villa Park. He's just holding the ball up. I'm not sure what he's waiting for. Rob Jones, Rob Jones, he's actually wanting to go. It's Rob Jones who's not letting him go. And he's complaining at the referee. And finally, I think the referee is going to blow his whistle and get this game back underway. So it's Pau Torres now, just inside his own half. Torres plays the ball forward, looking for John Duran. Duran just does well to maintain possession there and gives the ball back to Pau Torres. Torres, here's Tielemans. Barkley, oh, that's a really good ball down this right-hand side to the number 2, Matty Cash. Matty Cash, who just turns away from Garnacho. Morgan Gibbs-White has now been replaced by Dominguez, apparently. Here is the number 19 there for Villa. And it's played into John Duran. John Duran tries to get the crossing, but it's blocked by Johnny Evans. And it's back with Luca Dean. And it's given to Cash. Cash gives the ball back to Diego Carlos. And across there to Pau Torres. Forward to Ollie Watkins, who goes down under the challenge from Matthijs de Ligt. And it's going to be a free kick. Matthijs de Ligt can't believe it. But it is going to be a free kick. And it's from quite a dangerous position here. Yes. Actually, it looks more to me like Ollie Watkins kicks the back of de Ligt than the other way around.
We appear to have lost connection to Villa Park, but we're now going back over to you, Paul.
Thanks. It's been a free kick to to Aston Villa. That looked like it was really more kicking to the back of de Ligt than anything else, to be perfectly honest. But the free kick is going to be taken. And it's 0-0 with 15 minutes to go in this game. And Ross Barkley, Yuri Tielemans and Luca Dean are standing over this. It's about 25 to 27 yards out. Ross Barkley, we know, is pretty dangerous from this position. We know Tielemans can be. And Luca Dean, any one of these three could really strike this. But we'll just see. It's probably, I would probably argue it's about 30 yards out, actually. And Barkley looks favourite. It looks like it might be from him. Might be Luca Dean. It is Luca Dean, but it's a poor free kick. And goes over the top. And there has been a red card at Stamford Bridge. Ross, tell us all about it.
Yes, James Ward-Prowse under the yellow card in the first half for a foul, and he's then just been produced his second yellow card for when he went down, thought he won a free kick. The referee didn't give him the free kick. He touched the ball with his hand, and the referee skinned him a second yellow card for handball and sent off Nottingham Forest James Ward-Prowse. And now Forest will look like they're going to be making a change with Murata about to come on off of the bench. I'll let you know for shortly, Paul.
Thank
Still
you very
1-1.
much. Cheers, Ross. Well, there you go. That's another one of those silly red cards, isn't it? When you think you've won a foul and you pick up the ball, that's the very last thing you should do. You're always taught as a child to play to the whistle, and the ball is now on the far side with Diogo Dalla. And here's Anthony. Anthony trying to cut into the middle. Anthony with a shot. Oh, that's a good effort. And Emiliano Martinez flies to his right-hand side to make the save. As Anthony just showing what he can do with the ball, and it's a super save really by Emiliano Martinez. He's showing today why he is a Golden Glove winner at the World Cup. I mean, I would argue that Emiliano Martinez could be considered the best goalkeeper in the world right now. There's certainly a few candidates. Here's Morgan Rogers. The ball goes out of play, and it's going to be a throw-in. And Luca Dean is arguing with the official on that far side there. The official is Neil Davis on that far side, with Akil Hausen on this near side. Here's Eriksson. Long ball over to Diogo Dalla. Dalla holds the ball up there, gives the ball to Garnacho down this left-hand side. Garnacho trying to cut into the middle. Is he fouled there? He's claiming he was. The referee says no. Here's Kobe Mainu inside the penalty area. Tries to pull it back to Garnacho. Garnacho wasn't expecting it, and the ball breaks loose. It's 4-on-3 if Villa can hurry. Here is John Duran. He's got on the far side there Ollie Watkins. Watkins has got Philogene and Rogers in the middle. Watkins cuts into the penalty area, tries to play it across, but that is a good challenge by Victor Lindelof, and it goes behind for a goal kick. And we have 12 minutes left here. Not a goal kick, rather a corner. Some more comments in the comment section. I have not had a chance to get round to them yet. Media Radios and Jingles and Games said it was a very poor last week, but Man United did worse moments as they conceded 7 goals away at Liverpool. But that performance against Tottenham was totally embarrassing. And the corner is going to be taken by probably Luca Dean over on that far side. Nope, it's going to be taken by Yuri Tielemans. And there's just a delay here as some of the Manchester United players clashing with some of the Villa players in the penalty area. Rob Jones coming to sort this along. There really wasn't much in this. It was just a little bit of pushing and shoving. Football's a physical game. It's a contact sport, and I think you've just got to let some of this go so that we can get on with the game. And they're going to make contact in the penalty area from a corner. It's a very tightly congested area. The corner is going to be swung in. Barkley, Duran, Rogers, and Torres all in the 6-yard box for Manchester United, for Aston Villa. It's swung in and it's headed out there only as far as Garnacho. We'll hear about some changes from Forest and Chelsea in just a moment. For the time being, here is Philogene. Philogene drops the ball back to Ross Barkley and into his own half. Ross, why don't you tell us about those changes?
Yes, double change for Chelsea's Christopher Nkunku and Yao Felix come on for Nicholas Jackson and the skipper Enzo Fernandez. As for Nottingham Forest, 3 changes for them. Nico Williams coming on, Murata coming on, and Anthony Elanga coming on. The men going off is Alex Moreno, Chris Wood the goal scorer for Nottingham Forest, and for Chelsea old boy Callum Hudson-Odoi. 82.5 minutes gone here at Stamford Bridge. It is Chelsea 1, Nottingham Forest 1.
Ross, as well, just while you're still there, who do you think deserves to win that game at the moment? Who's in control of that game at the moment?
Chelsea having a possession and trying to create chances, but Forest are holding firm at the moment, Paul. I think when I'm looking at this game, I think it's probably a job, probably be a fair result on reflection of the game. Chelsea had the edge. It was an end-to-end first half, end-to-end second half. It's been an even game overall, in my opinion. I think a draw probably would be a fair result right now. But we know what Forest are like away from home. As we mentioned earlier, they ended on a Slot's run at Liverpool, unbeaten start at Liverpool. So you can never count Forest out, especially away from home. But it's still 1-1, 83 minutes gone here, Paul.
Thank you very much, Ross. Back at Villa Park, you're not missing anything. Here's John Duran for Villa. just starting to make his way down the left-hand side, and the cross by Duran is a poor one. It goes over and behind for a goal kick, as there is Unai Emery, who may well be satisfied with a draw against Manchester United. Eric Ten Hag, so if things remain the way that they are, Eric Ten Hag would have got a draw against Porto and a draw against Aston Villa. Many would look at that and expected the victory over Porto, perhaps not so much over Villa. Will it be enough to keep him in his job? We'll wait and see. Here's Johnny Evans. Johnny Evans, long ball over the top. It's to nobody in particular. It's just picked up by Luca Dean, who gives the ball to Pau Torres. And Manchester United now, I think, will probably be satisfied to come away from Villa Park with a point. At the moment, I don't really see any goals in this game right now. I don't know where it's going to come from if it does. Here's Matty Cash. Just gives the ball there back to Diego Carlos and back to the goalkeeper Emiliano Martinez. He's made a few super saves today. And he gives the ball there. Oh, he plays the ball forward to John Duran. Duran plays the ball down the right-hand side and is looking there for Duran again. Picks up the ball now, Duran. And he's going to lay it off here for Luca Dean. Dean gets the cross in. It's flicked and headed out of play by Diogo. Not out of play, but almost out of play to Diogo Dalla. Matty Cash picks the ball up and gives it to Ross Barkley. Corner of the penalty area, right-hand side. Swung in by Philogen. And headed, cleared away, but the header is won by Ross Barkley. As Villa putting on some pressure now. Let's see if they can get a winner. Here is Yuri Tielemans. Tielemans plays the ball there to Matty Cash. Cash drops the ball into the centre circle. Again to Diego Carlos. Cash just trying to turn away from Xerxes. Gives the ball to Philogen. Philogen drops the ball back into his own half. And it's picked up by Diego Carlos. Good long ball by Carlos over to the right-hand side. And it's picked up by Luca Dean. Just tries to flick the ball away from Anthony and headed on to Morgan Rogers. Anthony nips in and just gets some contact on the ball and finds Victor Lindelof. Lindelof, though, just chasing it back to the byline and puts it out of play for a corner to Aston Villa, level with their own penalty area, a level with the Manchester United penalty area. Ian Matson now appears to be making an appearance for Aston Villa, the former Burnley player. He is coming on, and Casemiro appears to be coming on for Manchester United to round up their substitutes for the day. And coming off is Kobe Mainoo. So Kobe Mainoo comes off for Casemiro, and it also looks like Ian Matson is now on. I'm just going to tell you who for in a moment. But Ian Matson looking at coming. Ian Matson is on now. He's going to take the throw in. Just trying to see who that might be for. It's for Luca Dean, in fact. So Luca Dean off and Ian Matson on for Villa, and off is Kobe Mainoo and Casemiro on for Manchester United. John Duran flick on to Ollie Watkins, knocks it back to the edge of the area. And good work by Ross Barkley there, keeping possession for Villa. Tielemans tries to play the ball forward, looking for Matson, and it's finally picked up there by Morgan Rogers, who gives the ball to Ian Matson, tries to get to the byline, but his first touch is not the best, and it goes behind for a goal kick. And I better just put in the chat my player of the match. And while I'm doing that, let's find out what's going on at Stamford Bridge. Appears to be some drama there, Ross.
Yes, Paul, it's all kicking off here now. Cucurella's just gone sliding in and took out his own manager here after there was a nudge in the back there. I'm trying to see who he was by Murato, nudged him off of the ball there as the ball went out. And it all started kicking off between the fans, between the players, right on the touchline, all getting involved here. Kenzo Maresca's got hold of the ball and onto the pitch trying to pass the ball. Some of the referees trying to sort things out. I'm here, Paul. I might as well give you my player of the match here in my game between Chelsea and Nottingham Forest. And I'm going to give it to Chelsea's Noni Madueke. Fantastic performance from him this afternoon. He's played really, really well today. Scored Chelsea's goal, looked to create things as well. But the scoreline is currently Chelsea 1, Nottingham Forest 1, and the referee's just listed out a few yellow cards for the handbags there between after the incident between Marco Correa and I think it was Nico Williams who nudged him into the back there, who also goes into the referee's notebook. It's still Chelsea 1, Nottingham Forest 1.
All right, thank you, Ross. And a yellow card just waved there at Victor Lindelof for the late challenge, as Manchester United have another player in the book. That's the fifth player in the book. This time Victor Lindelof, the substitute. And it's a late challenge. It's worthy of a yellow card. Morgan Rogers just touches the ball away from him, and that challenge is lunging in, and not the best tackle at all. So it's a free kick to Aston Villa, a few yards in from the touchline on the left-hand side, and Yuri Tielemans is standing over this one. And I'll just see what Yuri Tielemans can do with this free kick. Players in the box there: Pau Torres, Ross Barkley, Philogene, Ollie Watkins. Well, they're all in there, aren't they? John Duran, and they're all sort of level with a penalty area, but the referee is having some equipment adjustments. And quickly, Ross, why don't you tell us about that Chelsea sub?
Yes, Paul, sorry about that technical issues here again, but double change for Chelsea in stoppage time. Noni Madueke, who's played really, really well, man of the match this afternoon. Jadon Sancho goes off for Michaelo Mudryk and Pedro Neto. And I'm hearing, Paul, we have just gone into stoppage time, and I'm hearing there is a minimum, are you ready for this, of 13 minutes added time here at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea 1, Nottingham Forest 1. Still time for either side to get a winner here.
13 minutes of stoppage time. Goodness me, what has gone on in that game, Ross? Okay, well, we're back here at Villa Park. The referee is still having some adjustments made to his equipment as we take a look at Sir Alex Ferguson there. Perhaps arguably the greatest ever manager in football. I think it's hard to argue with that. I mean, I suspect that that'll be his trophies will be surpassed by Manchester City's manager Pep Guardiola, but at the same time, what a career it's been for Alex Ferguson. The job he's done at Manchester United is absolutely amazing, as we are still waiting for the official and his equipment to be resolved, as it looks like they're bringing out a new battery and somebody's storming across there, carrying all the equipment there. And the referee is going to be just changed now. It looks like a new battery as a change is being made here. They really ought to make sure that this equipment is working properly before the start of the game, instead of messing around like this. Well, finally, we're going to get... I think we're going to... Well, no, they're still working on this. Ross, 13 minutes of stoppage time there. Who's more likely to win it?
I think Chelsea more likely to win it. They've just had a really good chance. Pedro Neto with the cross into the penalty area, and João Felix, the sub who's come on with him, just heads it back across goal and wide of the far post as we played 2.5 minutes. As Chelsea made their fifth and final change of the afternoon, with Tosin Oniribayo coming on, and Levi Kovacevic, who's in the England squad, has made way. I thought I was going to say to you earlier on, Paul, that Levi Kovacevic may have to pull out of the England squad, as he went down holding his shoulder early on following a challenge by Chris Wood, but he managed to continue, so it looks like he's going to be okay for Lee Carsley's squad for the upcoming international break. We're still Chelsea 1, Nottingham Forest 1, played 3 of the, 13 minutes added on, still 10 to go.
Thank you, Ross. Still, we're messing around with the referee's equipment here. And we are going to have 6 minutes stoppage time here, which is obviously going to turn into a longer than 6 minutes now, because the official is still having their equipment sorted. So we could be looking, Ross, at 13 minutes here as well. But I think finally we've got it sorted, or have we? Rob Jones is just making sure that everything's properly in place and it's comfortable and tight around his arm. And I think we're finally going to get this game back underway. Crowd not happy at Villa Park, and I don't blame them, quite frankly. This sort of thing should be checked before the game, not during the game or at the beginning of the game. It should be checked before the game. I don't understand why this continually happens. The free kick anyway is going to be taken. That's where we're at right now. It's a free kick to Aston Villa, about 4 yards in from the touchline on the left-hand side, almost level with the Manchester United penalty area. And it looks like it's going to be Yuri Tielemans who eventually is going to get the opportunity to have this free kick taken. I suspect we may have 7 or 8 minutes of stoppage time, but the ball is swung in and it's headed up into the air and headed out by John Duran, only as far as Philligan. Philligan tries to get his way, tries to beat Ericsson, but he decides to play it short there to Rodgers. Rodgers tried to return the ball to Philligan, but he plays it off Diogo Dalla and out of play. And it's going to be a throw-in to throw-in to Old Trafford. And there's been a massive chance for Forest. We're going to go back there in a moment, but let's see this throw-in first. It's a long throw-in into the penalty area. John Duran trying to bring the ball under control, but it's cleared out of the penalty area, but only as far really as Rodgers. Rodgers now to Ollie Watkins, plays the ball in the middle. Foul! Oh, it's just wide. Oh, and Diogo Dalla makes a match-saving challenge there. Oh, that was really superb stuff. It was Morgan Rodgers who played the ball to Ollie Watkins. It missed everybody, came through to Philligan, and it was off the back of Diogo Dalla. Let's have a look. Yes, just off his back, and it goes behind for a corner. Russ, you'll just have to hold fort for a second, because it's a corner to Manchester United. To Aston Villa. And it's going to be taken by Matson, who swings it into the edge of the area, but a failure to control the ball. And it's released to Anthony, and it's 2-on-2 for Manchester United. Garnacho chasing up as well, and another super piece of defending, this time by Matty Cash. And it's going to be a corner to Manchester United. And all of a sudden, both sides coming very close to winning this game. It's going to be a yellow card that's been issued now. I don't know what the yellow card is issued for or to whom. It might be to Ross Barkley, actually. Yes, it is. Ross Barkley is picking up the yellow card. And we're going to... I think that's the first one for Aston Villa today. Ross Barkley there going into the referee's notebook. And it's a corner now to Manchester United. It's swung out and headed out by John Duran. And once again, it's another corner for Manchester United. I'll be naming the player of the match, man of the match, I should say, at the next stoppage of play. And then we'll go over to Ross for some information there on the chances. Corner taken again. It's outswung and it's headed behind for a goal kick by Johnny Evans. So today's player of the match, as sponsored by Commentary Services, goes to Aston Villa's goalkeeper Emiliano Martinez, who's made some fantastic saves in this game, and I think he's deserving of player of the match for his performance today. So today's player of the match, as sponsored by Commentary Services, goes to number 20, Villa's 23, Emiliano Martinez. And Ross, why don't you tell us about the chances that has just happened?
Yes, Nottingham Forest had the best chance of the second half from their perspective. Nico Williams does really well. This is how and first a fantastic save out of Robert Sanchez. Chelsea then brilliant ball down the line. The cross comes in from the left-hand side, and a header from Christopher Nkunku, fantastically pushed away by Matt Sells in the goal from the corners. Chelsea couldn't profit from, and it's still Chelsea 1, Forest 1. We played 8 of those 13 minutes of stoppage time here at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea 1, Nottingham Forest 1.
All right, well, a free kick for a foul on Casemiro gives Manchester United the opportunity. The ball is played forward. And here's Anthony again, back to Casemiro. Casemiro lifts the ball over the top here, and the cross coming in and just cleared away. Only as far as Johnny Evans. Johnny Evans lifts the ball over to Garnacho, but he's not going to be able to keep that ball. Oh, he does. Very impressive by Garnacho to keep that ball in play. Matty Cash just heads the ball out of play now, and it's going to be a throw-in for Manchester United once this game is over. We'll go over to Ross at Stamford Bridge because it looks like this game may finish before Ross's with just 13 minutes of stoppage time they've got going on over there. And the ball is played long by Casemiro and only as far as Emiliano Martinez, as it looks like we are finishing without goals today at Villa Park. But 0-0, and Manchester United will be satisfied with this result. The ball is played long and it's headed down there by Dalot, but Villa win the ball back with Ross Barkley. Gives the ball to John Duran and it's picked up there by Ian Matson. And now here's Morgan Rogers. Flick on by Duran to Matson. Can Matson get the cross in? Back to Rogers. Rogers just drops the ball back to Matson. And here's Tielemans. Tielemans as far as Ross Barkley. And now it's played the cross in and it may have taken a deflection. It goes behind, it may not. Morgan Rogers attempted to flick that ball over, but it's going to be a goal kick as we have now played an additional minute of stoppage time here at Villa Park. And this, we're mostly playing now what time has been added on due to the equipment issues the referee has had. And finally, the goal kick is going to be taken by Andre Onana. It is 0-0 here. Andre Onana, right-footed, downfield. And the heads go up. It's flicked on there by Joshua Zirkzee, but only manages to find John Duran. And that's it. It's full-time Villa Park. Well, we had moments in this game where both teams had chances and both teams came close to scoring. Some great saves from Emiliano Martinez and some chances for Villa as well. But on the long and the short of it is there just wasn't enough creativity from either side in the game. And at full time here at Villa Park, it finishes Aston Villa 0, Manchester United 0. Let's go over to Stamford Bridge with Ross Vernon. I'll wrap up the game for you there.
Yes, thank you, Paul. As Nottingham Forest are on the charge away. Over halfway, there's the number 20 there for Nottingham Forest. Jota Silva goes down. Free kick given. About 25 yards out. Foul by Wesley Fofana. We've got 2 minutes left of stoppage time to go here. And that's a definite foul by Wesley Fofana. Could go into the yellow referee's no book here. Wesley Fofana. And he does. And with that yellow card for Wesley Fofana, Paul, I can tell, and the listeners, I can tell you he misses the next game for Chelsea. He's out of their game, which when Chelsea return after the international break, he will miss the game against Liverpool on the 20th of October due to picking up his 5th yellow card of the season already in this Premier League encounter. So Wesley Fofana out of the next game against Liverpool for Chelsea, which is up after the international break. We've got around about a minute left to go at Stamford Bridge. Nottingham Forest with a free kick. Can they get something from this Nottingham Forest? It's Murillo to take. Shot comes in. Low-driven shot wide. It goes in the end, and that looks like it might be that. The Forest players behind that goal, trying to get their crowd up on their feet. He did take a deflection on the way through. I'm surprised by that. I didn't see a deflection there. Also, the referee and officials a bit more closer to the action than I am. And it is a corner kick to Nottingham Forest. One last chance for the Reds to potentially get something here at Stamford Bridge. Can Forest get something from this game against Chelsea? Al Felix, Murillo watching on here. Milik in there too. So too is Jota Silva and Neco Williams. Oh, there comes back this time. The edge of the penalty is Ola Aina. Aina goes one way and then the other. Twisted in. And from Jota Silva. And a fantastic save from Robert Sanchez. Almost a winner for Nottingham Forest. Right to the last kick of the game. Jota Silva with a superb header. And that almost put Nottingham Forest back into lead. Fantastic diving save from Robert Sanchez. Skip to 1-1. Potentially we could see a match winner late on here for Forest, could we? Another corner, this time from the other side, as he Sanchez brings back Christopher Nkunku there. He's still Chelsea 1, Nottingham Forest 1 here. It's going to be a corner kick. Anthony Elanga to take it. The substitute in front of those Nottingham Forest fans behind the goal here at Stamford Bridge. Corner whipped in towards the near post. He's up and under. Anyway, comes out to Nico Williams inside the penalty area. Can't get a strike and he breaks back in towards the penalty area. Jota Silva's there. Can't take it, but the offside flag is up. Jota Silva wasn't offside, in my opinion. There, the referee and officials have got that one wrong this afternoon. Well, there it is. It's all over at Stamford Bridge. The full-time whistle has gone at Stamford Bridge, and it is finished. Nottingham Forest 1. Well, Chelsea 1, Nottingham Forest 1. Fantastic game in the end at Stamford Bridge this afternoon. Chelsea, often put, they couldn't find the breakthrough to get the winner after equalising through Noni Madueke. That was after Chris Wood had put Nottingham Forest into the lead at Stamford Bridge this afternoon. What a fantastic game it has finished here at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea often puffed, but couldn't find the breakthrough in the end. 1-1, probably a fair result on reflection. Both teams going for a team at Stamford Bridge. We're in the Premier League encounter between Chelsea and Nottingham Forest. It has finished at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea 1, Nottingham Forest 1. I'll be back in just a couple of moments as I get my breath back for the closing stages there to round up all the scores from the matches so far and get post overall thoughts from the game that East going to Villa Park. But here at Stamford Bridge, the fair result on reflection: Chelsea 1, Nottingham Forest 1. What a games that we've had this afternoon, closing stages of both games. Aston Villa 0, Manchester United 0 in our commentary game. What an end to the game we had at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea 1, Nottingham Forest 1. Forest finished the game with 10 men, but Forest could have won it late on as well. Let me run you through the scores from the matches today in the other divisions. So in the Championship, latest score at half time, well into the second half there now. Bristol City 0, Cardiff City 0 in the 7th derby. Premier League 2, Man United 0, Liverpool 1. Women's Super League is finished. Chelsea v Man United match postponed. Man City 2, West Ham 0, Arsenal 0, Everton 0. Tottenham 2, Liverpool 2 is closing stages there. 53 minutes on the clock. It's Leicester 0, Crystal Palace 0 in that one. In the Women's Championship, results for you there. Sheffield United 2, Bristol City 4. Birmingham 2, Blackburn 0. Charlton 3, Sunderland 3. London City Lionesses 5, Portsmouth 1, Newcastle 0, Durham 1. In Ligue 1 in France, Lyon 2, Nantes 0. Latest scores now: Brest 0, Le Havre 0, Rennes 1, Montpellier 0, Strasbourg 0, Lens 1. In that one there. In the German Bundesliga, Heidenheim 0, RB Leipzig 1, 83 minutes gone in that game. Serie A finished. Juventus 1, Cagliari 1, Bologna 0, Parma 0, red card for Parma in that game, red card for Juventus in their game. Lazio 2, Empoli 1. In the Dutch Eredivisie, it finished Red Eagles 4, Hercules 1, Feyenoord 2, FC Twente 1, Heerenveen 1, Pek Zwolle 1, and it's going Ajax 1, Groningen 0 on 27 minutes played. There in the NPFL, full-time score Neswari 0, Belleza United 0, and all the other scores across that division are all 0-0 this afternoon so far, early stage in that games there. Scottish Premiership was County 1, Celtic 2, Aberdeen 1, Hearts 1, and in La Liga, Girona 2, Athletic Club 1 is a full-time score. Athletic Club finished the game with 10 men. Alaves 0, Barcelona 3 at half-time. In that one, goals coming from Barcelona. From the first half, hat-trick from Robert Lewandowski, and 6 minutes into the game, Eric Garcia replaced Ferran Torres. Alaves saw the scored a goal with Martinez, but he was disallowed for offside in first half stoppage time there. So there's all his scores on the doors in that game there this afternoon. Paul, let's just turn our attentions to that commentary game, which was at Villa Park this afternoon. Aston Villa 0, Manchester United 0. And Paul, just give us your overall thoughts on the game. Was it a fair scoreline in the end for you, or did one side deserve to win it more than the other?
No, I think the result was the right result. I don't think any side really deserved to win it. I don't think any side sort of got above and beyond the other. I think the better chances fell for Manchester United, but it's the bottom line is it's still, in my opinion, based on the balance of play, there wasn't any team that really deserved to win it. I think, in my opinion, the draw was the right result. I think Manchester United will be the happier of the two teams from that. But I mean, the ending was pretty interesting. Either side could have won it at the end, really.
Yes, and Paul, would you say then the happier manager would probably be Eric Ten Hag, despite we've been under pressure in the game this point this afternoon? Or do you think, for his future's sake, potentially, would have probably wanted to get at least a win here at Villa Park?
Well, of course, he would have wanted to have won, but I think at the end of the day, I'll be happy with a draw because I think Manchester United really went into the game as underdogs.
Yes, thank you very much, Paul. Just looking at it from a Villa perspective, what do you think you and I may be thinking about that, and especially, would you think he'd be thanking his manager to keeping them at 0-0 and getting the draw out of the game?
Yes and no. I think Villa would have wanted to have won the game. I think because they're trying to keep their top four aspirations alive. I think coming off the victory over Bayern Munich in the week, I think Aston Villa went into this game on a high and would have wanted to have gotten all 3 points.
Yes, thank you very much. Then, Paul, we'll finish off then with our roundup of the Premier League scores from this weekend and then give you the table as it stands with just one game left to play in the Premier League match week number 7 this weekend. So let me run you through the scores then. On Saturday, finished Crystal Palace 0, Liverpool 1, Arsenal 3, Southampton 1, Brentford 5, Wolverhampton Wanderers 3, Leicester 1, Bournemouth 0, Man City 3, Fulham 2, West Ham United 4, Ipswich Town 1, Everton 0, Newcastle 0. On Sunday, Aston Villa 0, Manchester United 0, which you heard with commentary from Paul James. And then the updated game you heard was Chelsea 1, Nottingham Forest 1, was a full-time scoreline there at Stamford Bridge as well. Brighton take on Spurs. It's a 4:30 kickoff in that game. Then let me run you through the table that's on in the top half. Liverpool at top on 18 points. Man City in second on 17 points on goal difference ahead of Arsenal, who also have 17 points. They sit in third. Chelsea remaining fourth on 14 points on goal difference from Aston Villa, despite Villa drawing 0-0 and Chelsea getting a 1-1 draw in that game. Newcastle are 6th, Fulham are 7th, Tottenham are 8th, Forest are 9th, and Brentford are 10th in the table there. Just continue with this here. Brighton in 11th, West Ham in 12th, Bournemouth in 13th, Man United remain 14th, Leicester in 15th, Everton in 16th, Ipswich in 17th, Palace in 18th, Southampton 19th, and Wolves remain bottom after yet to win this season. Thank you very much for all our coverage today. We'll see you again soon here on the Commentary Hub. From all the team here, goodbye.